Coming to the last part, and I'm the last obstacle between you and the drinks, so I will be short. I really enjoyed very much this conference. First, I have to thank the one who got the idea of this. That's Bolly and thank you, Bolly. That was a great idea, and really I loved the whole discussion. First, Bolly set the ground and the high-level view and telling us a very simple thing that when then Willy showed us in figures with an implacable demonstration. Thank you, Willy. But what Bolly said is that most nations, I learned thanks to the Minister of Finance, except Colombia, tax nominal income. And when you have inflation that is higher than the nominal income, then you are taxing real losses. You are increasing the loss of purchasing power of people, especially poor people, as it was said at some point in the panel, that it is, I think it's Nicolas who mentioned that the highest marginal tax rates per asset class are on bank savings accounts, which is mostly used by the poorest savers. And this is really dear to Better Finance because for many years, we have been publishing the returns and performance of long-term savings in real terms, because that is what matters. In this, in fact, we have been following OECD, which also for maybe decades, but Nicolas will know better than me, has been publishing pension fund returns in real terms. And Better Finance has convinced a few years ago also to get ESMA to publish its annual cost and performance report also in real terms. So this is hopefully gaining momentum when we will see national governments doing that. And the industry. Someone said, yes, we need, and that is perfectly right, to involve the industry in financial indication, especially adults. They can do a lot. They could publish also real returns. They don't do it. And so financial literacy, financial education, this is something to do. Publish real returns. Because one thing that people suffer from, and it's not me who says that, and it's all the behavioral economists, is two cognitive biases. First, they don't realize the impact, negative impact of inflation on their wealth. But second, they don't realize, and it's called the exponential bias, that this impact is exponentially bigger with time. And here we are talking about long-term investments, pension savings. This is the long term. And I was extremely happy next to Colombia to see that there is a finance minister of another country who says, well, I will not do it now, but we should be doing it. So we are making, hopefully, progress here. But I saw then the response the minister made as well on when Willy was asked for an example of an unfair treatment, and that was exactly the bank savings accounts in Iceland, this case, that yes, with some inflation, the returns, the nominal returns already of bank savings accounts are very low on average in Iceland. I can tell you in France, it's exactly the same. And there are more than 30% of savings in this product. He said, thank you. And I think that's because Billy said it's the government who gets it all. That's the problem. And someone said that to balance the need for fiscal revenue with fairness with investors. So what are the next steps? I mean, we are not the government, we are not OECD, we are not the EU, but at Better Finance, as Alexandra, our managing director, showed, we are finalizing our study, our research on 7 countries, and this we will contribute to the debate. But I think everyone, including the industry, yes, because many of you agreed to put financial literacy high on the agenda. The European Commission is doing the same. For me, it's a bit like Nicolas said, the cisne, we say in France. We talk a lot about it, but nobody has actually seen it. So far, at least in school, but also for young adults. So I gave a few examples. One last word, a theme that came back also very often in this conference, and especially in the panel, is simplicity. This morning we had big discussion in the General Assembly, you know, about the regulation is good or not. It can be good, but I think what people need is simplicity. Yes, simplicity is part of education, because if you design or promote or impose by regulation simpler products, simpler tax schemes, and we have some examples of complexity of that, you help. You help people understand finance, you help people understand financial products. So that is our next step, and we'll continue to push with our members. Thank you again for the Icelandic Investor Association for transparency of real returns for savers and pension savers and investors. And thanks again for Bolly and his team, for the Icelandic Association, for having made this possible, and thanks a lot of all the great speakers and great panelists. Thank you.